Good morning. What a beautiful, beautiful day. And the beginning of a holiday weekend for a lot of New Yorkers. So we're here to celebrate some really great news. We're opening another ADA station, another one here at East 149th Street in the Bronx on the number 6 train. I'm Jano Lieber, MTA Chair and CEO, and I'm here with Chief Accessibility Officer Camille Arroyo and the President of MTA Construction Development, Jimmy Torres Springer. That's the organization that's building all of this. And I'm also here with the Borough President of the Bronx, who is rocking it all the time. And we're so thrilled to have you. Shanifa Riara, who's our Chief Customer Officer. And of course, our advocates, Christopher D. Greif, always representing the advocates for accessibility and a better system. Listen, accessibility is a right and it's a top MTA priority, and we are knocking out stations at a totally unprecedented pace. This has never been done before. We have 29 stations in construction right now, 29. By the end of the year, we will have opened elevators at 12 stations, and this is the 5th one just this year. We are moving at a pace that is about 5 times our predecessors. Because this MTA, under Governor Hochul, has said that we're not satisfied with, no matter what the DOJ said 25 years ago, we're not satisfied until every MTA subway station is accessible. It's part of a larger investment program that includes $55 billion for capital improvements, and $5 billion of that is earmarked for ADA. We're spending $1 billion a year on ADA accessibility. Amazing, amazing. We're going to keep up the momentum. We made a promise to the advocates, and Chris Greif is here representing them, but I always say I bless the advocates for accessibility. Even when they're sometimes yelling at us, I bless them every day because they've been part of creating an incredible momentum and a consensus through a historic legal agreement that we achieved this year that we will make the whole system accessible, and we're going to deliver, and I hope faster even than the legal agreement required us to. I also want to thank our federal partners, especially Majority Leader Chuck Schumer. This is an FTA, US DOT funded project, and it was completed as part of a package of 8 stations that we are delivering and executing and building under the what we call design build. That's the new strategy for how do you build projects much faster, better, and cheaper, and it's getting done. We are also, what I keep saying is we're throwing the weight of the MTA behind accessibility as a top priority because it's important for everybody. It's important for those with mobility issues. It's important for parents with strollers. It's important for tourists with luggage. We're seeing tourists coming to the Bronx. We were just celebrating together the advent of the Universal Hip Hop Museum. The Bronx is becoming a tourist destination, and those tourists are moving around with luggage. So again, for them, elevators are important. And most of all, not to be forgotten, older New Yorkers. New York is a great place for old folks because you don't need a car. You can get around, but you can only get around if there is an accessible station. This is personal. I say it all the time. My mother, before she passed, in her 90s, said to me, I don't feel like a New Yorker now because I can't get in and out of my subway station. You got to fix that. And it is a personal passion of mine to make that vision correct. Listen, we're going to have a lot more of these events. We're not going to stop talking about this because we're going to keep knocking them out. Let me turn it over to Jamie and then to the Borough President. Jamie?
Thank you, Chair. Very great to be here today. I'll be quick because the Chair said it all. But the East 149th Street 6 station is very important to communities in the Southeast Bronx. It's the heart of a vibrant community here, and we're very proud to include it in our growing list of ADA accessible stations. This station, as Jano said, is part of our first major design build bundle of ADA projects, which is 8 different stations across all 5 boroughs. We're delivering these projects better, faster, and cheaper than ever. East 49th Street is the 5th newly ADA accessible station to open this year, with 7 more accessible stations on the way by the end of 2023. And we have a tremendous amount of accessibility upgrades and work coming to the Bronx, including 4 other stations already in construction and another 7 in this current capital plan. And I also, because we're standing in the Southeast Bronx, should mention 3 blocks away is that Hellgate line, which is the future line that will accommodate 4 new stations in the Bronx, taking Metro North service into Penn Station in a reliable way by 2027. And we're incredibly excited, and already, Borough President, I know, working together on the huge economic development benefits that a project like that with its 4 stations is going to bring to the Bronx. So it's a great time to be part of the MTA's program in the Bronx. I do want to acknowledge the MTA team, our tireless MTA stations team standing over there. Even up to 5 minutes ago, we were tirelessly working together on something. And Joseph from E&E, who's at the heart of this, as well as our Office of System Safety, that's showing a lot of patience and fortitude working with us to get so many stations open in an unprecedented way. Judd Lau, our contractor, Hill International, important teams that work tirelessly. And as Jano said, we're very grateful to the Federal Transit Administration for their support. And with that, I want to call up the Borough President of the Bronx, Vanessa Gibson.
Thank you.
Is that right?
Yes. Good morning, everyone. Buenos dias a todos. Welcome, welcome. I am always excited to join our colleagues at the MTA to officially open a new ADA station. Very excited, and really speaks volumes to the commitment that this administration has, recognizing the incredible leadership of our governor, Kathy Hochul, working with our New York City Mayor, Eric Adams, and everyone at the MTA. So first, let me recognize our chair and CEO. Thank you, Mr. Jano Lieber. It's great working with you. We've been together on many occasions during my time in the New York City Council. I am so proud that we were able to provide 2 elevators at the number 4 train station at 170th Street and Jerome Avenue, which was a part of the Jerome Neighborhood Rezoning Plan back in 2017. And now today we are here to officially recognize another train station that will be fully ADA compliant. Thank you to MTA Construction and Development President, good friend Jamie Torres Springer. He and I have history from my days back in the New York City Council. Thank you to Quamel Arroyo, our MTA Chief Accountability Officer and Senior Advisor to our Chairman. And really to each and every one of you, I want to recognize Shanna Knott, our Chief of Staff, for Councilmember Rafael Salamanca Jr., and all the elected officials. We are here to really recognize the importance of providing ADA accessibility for all of our riders here in New York City and here in the Bronx. And this station, the 5th station to become accessible this year, but the first in the Bronx for this year. Very, very excited out of an expected 12 that we will see throughout the entire city of New York. I also want to recognize that we're currently working on the Tremont Avenue station on the B&D line, which is along the Grand Concourse, and citywide, the 29 stations that are currently undergoing construction. I want to recognize, of course, 149th Street and the Grand Concourse, right outside of Ostos Community College. That's the 2 and 5 line, as well as Westchester Square, the number 6 train, Marshallou Parkway, the number 4, right outside of North Central Bronx, and Parkchester, the number 6 train, long awaited. This being a part of the 2020-2024 capital plan for elevator construction. Also want to recognize again, coming down the pipeline, 167th Street on the B&D, 242nd Street on the number 1 train, Brook Avenue on the number 6, 3rd Avenue and 138th Street on the 6 train, Kingsbridge Road on the number 4, Burnside Avenue on the number 4, and Wakefield 241st Street on the number 2. We are going to continue to add to our portfolio and make sure that we increase the access and opportunity for all riders. Every New Yorker, every Bronxite deserves to have an ADA compliant subway station, not just for older adults, for our seniors, for those that have mobility issues, for many of our parents with young children. We need to make sure that everyone has access. And because access for me is such a priority, very proud to say that several months ago, we reestablished the Disability Council in the office of the Bronx Borough President. We have a new president, Jillian Moses, and her incredible team that are coming up with policies and priorities for our office. And this falls in line with our own strategic policy plan, which I'm very proud to say that when we talk about ADA access, it's page 44 in our strategic policy plan that's on our website. But we are truly grateful because oftentimes for us in the Bronx, we feel that we are ignored and we are shortchanged and we are left behind. But I'm proud to say with President Janet Lieber and everyone here at MTA, the Bronx is no longer going to be left behind. Thank you for recognizing the importance and the potential that we have in our great borough. I am recognizing also our MTA staff. I want to say thank you to our Transit District 12, our commanding officers here, because we know that in order for New Yorkers to feel safe, they want to see the presence of police. And our transit police work very hard each and every day to keep our residents safe. So I will continue as your borough president to advocate for the Bronx, to advocate for our riders, to advocate for our everyday commuters, hardworking residents that go to work every day that want to return safe. It is our priority, it is a necessity, and it is a fundamental right that every New Yorker should have. So once again, to everyone at MTA, I say thank you. To all of my colleagues in government, we look forward to even more stations and more ribbon cuttings of all of our stations being fully ADA compliant. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Is there anybody who represents the Bronx better than that lady? Vanessa Gibson, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for your leadership. And again, an acknowledgement, Councilmember Salamanca being represented here by his Chief of Staff, Shannon Knotts. Thank you so much again for being here. When we do ADA stations, we celebrate construction, but we also celebrate the portion of the MTA who leads our thinking across the board on accessibility. And that office is championed by Quimel Arroyo. Q, would you say a few words?
Good morning. Thank you everyone for joining us today. My name is Quimel Arroyo and I have the pleasure to be the MTA's first Chief Accessibility Officer. I am so proud to be here in the Bronx, one of the better boroughs, and truly with our champion for transit and accessibility, Vanessa Gibson. This station is not a huge transfer hub or a flashy location in the central business district. Rather, it's one of literally hundreds of local stations throughout the 5 boroughs that New Yorkers rely on to get to work, to school, and to see family and friends every single day. And the fact that we're making these stations all over the city accessible, for me, is huge. We are investing in the whole system, serving all of our riders, and working to meet all of their needs. When it comes to station accessibility, both the need and opportunities are so clearly on display where we are here today. On the 6th line here in the Bronx today, before this station opening, only 2 of the 18 stations on the 6th line were accessible. This MTA leadership has made a clear statement that the old status quo is no longer acceptable. We are putting our money where our mouth is, and when it comes to changing our systems and making accessible stations, we are doing it every single day. We're improving access in the Bronx today and have accessibility projects in the pipeline in Westchester Square, Pelham Bay. The borough president mentioned all of the work that we're doing across the Bronx. From Ashuel Parkway to Tremont Avenue, we are improving our stations and making them accessible for all. Literally, we have shovels on the ground today. We are delivering what we promised in this historic capital plan and closing those gaps of accessibility throughout the city, making stations accessible every single week. We're working closely on dozens of stations and projects, and we hope to get them done in the next few years. We have the funds to complete this very ambitious goal that we have. We have leadership like Jamie and Jano that are going to get the job done, and I am so excited to be doing that and continuing on our commitment. I want to thank the Greifs for their continued advocacy for accessibility and keeping us true. and the borough president, you listed all of them. We have so many more to do, and I couldn't be more proud to be here and I'll see you at those other openings. I'd like to say a couple of words in Spanish para nuestros televidentes latinos. Es para mí un gran placer estar aquí con la presidenta del condado del Bronx, Jan Oliver, y Jamie Torres Springer de la MTA, abriendo esta nueva estación. Esta estación no es en el distrito central de la ciudad, no es una gran transfer para el sistema, pero sí es una estación local cual miles de usuarios beneficiarán por este proyecto. Personas con madres y padres, con coches, personas en silla de ruedas, nuestras personas mayores de edad, todos serán beneficiados por este nuevo accesor. Para nosotros es un placer darle este servicio a todos los neoyorquinos y seguiremos aquí en el Bronx y en todos los condados abriendo más estaciones accesibles. Muchas gracias.
Qué bien. Okay.
Do we have on-topic questions? Anybody on topic? All right, thanks. So we're going to take a ride, ceremonial first ride in the elevator with the dignitaries, and then we'll come back for an off-topic experience.
Off-topic
Thank
experience.
you.
I'll work it out. George.
Let's do this, Wizards. CBS. George.
Hey, one question, sir.
Yeah.
What's the latest on the W train?
The good news, the W has been back in full service since yesterday, Thursday morning. So amazing work by the professionals in the transit yards who did all the repairs on those 75 different windows that were busted. And we're thrilled that the service is full on.
It's from happening again, as far as security goes.
Listen, we have great presence from the NYPD in our system, and as we keep seeing, anytime someone does a crime in the system, they get arrested within a matter of 24 or at most 48 hours. We love what the NYPD is doing to make the subway safer.